So rewind, uh, prior to COVID, like right around 2019, I was pursuing a lot of acting. So I was on set a lot, like all the time, doing background work, feature stuff. I was like talking to people and they're like, you should do stunts. It pays, and like you get paid. And the stunt people would come and they were like, oh, there's the stunt guys. So I'm like, so I started talking to some guys and I met on set of a feature film. I met Michael and he plays Toker
Hmm.
on our production. And he said, would you come to my house? We're gonna shoot some stunt stuff. Like, some I'm like, great, I gotta learn this stuff. I wanna learn how to fall and jump. And so after set after we finished that production, we meet up later on, like a week later. And he's doing these moves on me and I don't know what he's doing. And he's like, don't worry about it. He's like, and then his roommate's there with the camera. And he's like, all right, so I'm gonna show you this technique. And I'm like, what is he doing? And then all of a sudden I'm like, and he's like, yeah, just tap. If you feel pressure, tap. So after that, I hit him up and I was like, dude, what were you doing on me? What is that? And he's like, it's jujitsu. And he's like, you should try it. And I'm like, okay. So we kept shooting the content. We did it for like a month. People really started liking it. And one of those people was local fighter, the guy on the third guy, our third wheel. He's amazing. He does all everything. So he's also an actor, and we met on set of another film. And
Interesting.
Mike's like, hey, this is a local fighter. And he's a jujitsu during the time. He was a jujitsu purple belt, I think, or blue belt. I don't remember what he was.
Mhm.
This is like 4 years ago. And anyways, make a long story short, he's like, you guys need to start shooting the content again. People love it. And I'm like, okay. But he tells me, he's like, and you need to train. He said, if you don't train, he said, people are gonna know you're faking it. And I'm like, what are you talking
Oh.
about? I'm an
Mm.
actor, I'll just fake it. He's like, oh no, not jujitsu.
Mm-mm.
And I'm like, well, dang. So I looked into it and it's pretty pricey and it's really hard. So I was like procrastinating for a while. And I'm still Dewey, I'm still DUI, I'm like partying, I'm drinking, I'm having a good time, living life. I'm an actor. The hardest thing I do is probably I have to memorize a bunch of lines.
Sure.
Man, when I tell you, my wife found this gym near our home and I walked the first time. She was like, you should join. And it was for my kids, right? But it was really for me. And we signed the kids up. I got signed up. It was my birthday present, right?
Aw.
And my birthday is in December. So this is like a New Year's resolution thing for me. Plus, we're just getting ready to shoot this content and it's jujitsu based. So I don't know, I gotta learn. So I
Yeah.
walk into the dojo and my professor at the time, the guy at the time, he's like, so you want to train jujitsu? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, have you ever trained any martial arts before? And I thought back, I was like, no, no, never. He's like, you don't have any experience? I'm like, no. I said, I trained Taekwondo when I was a kid. My mom put me in for like a week. He's like, nah. So, so, so he gives me a loaner gi. I get on the mats. I do a bunch of drills. The first day was cool. When I went back, I think the first time I just puked like so much.
Oh.
I just threw up everywhere. Yeah. And then like for a week after that, when we would do live rolls, like after I got, good where I can escape, he like I think it was a month after, not even a week, but when I started rolling, I would just tap the pressure. It was so bad. Everything
Mm.
just but that's how that's how I started jujitsu because Mike and Junior, Cholo MMA, the guys, the homies, they just pushed me to do it. They said, you got to do it, man. It's life changing. I
Yeah.
didn't believe them. And then I got bit. Like, I'd say probably midway to my white belt, through my white belt journey, I competed. I did a local tournament. I lost. but I didn't get submitted.
Sure.
And I fought hard, you know, and I felt good, you know, and it was exciting. And I've never competed ever before in my life, and I did it as an adult, you know. And my kids, you know, they were my family. They're always supporting me. They're so supportive. They were there, and then and yeah, I got my blue belt like really like a year and a half in to my jiu-jitsu, which is, you know, it's not the fastest, but it's not, you know, it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
And I competed again, and then I got gold, and I was like,
Nice.
yay! That's why I did the videos with the medal, because I want people to be encouraged, even if it's just a local tournament, even if it's just a new breed or a naga. If you win gold, it's a big thing, and you should
Yeah. It is.
celebrate that and be proud of that. So I showed my kids, and they were like doing videos with me, and it was so funny. I would take it everywhere. I would go to church with it, and I'd go to the barber shop. Like, what's that? They're cutting my hair, and I'm like, yeah, it's my medal.
I might do the same thing if,
You should.
when I
You win
compete. Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Yes, be proud. Yes, yes. Parade it around. Let people know.